Welcome to the what? What is that? What the hell? What? Ah! Yes, 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 boys! I finally did it. I finally killed the welfare bug. Yes. All right, officially the worst intro ever in Derek Israel career. Welcome to the Mastermind Podcast Challenge. This is the episode 508, and I'm very excited to be here. This is your host, Dr. Derek Israel, and today, my friends, we're gonna talk about how not to be a welfare bug. So I hope that you're ready. This is a very controversial subject, but it will be very beneficial for you and for those around you if you can grasp the central idea that I will transmit to you today. Before we continue on, remember that we are reuniting in a Telegram group, all free. The link is in the description. So if you are enjoying these podcasts and you want to be part of a conscious community that helps to grow each other, like a collective growth, well, go to the link in the description below and join our Telegram group. So let's go right into it, my friends. So let me give you a warning before we begin, because there's a lot of people that likes to take things out of context and to hurt careers and to hurt influential people. So I just want to make this warning because I want to, think ahead. And I know that this podcast may be controversial, so let me tell you some things before we proceed forward. So when I say bug, welfare bug, I'm not saying that people that have this mindset are bugs, okay? I'm not saying that they are bug. The term welfare bug is just a term that I developed to describe what is commonly known as welfare dependency. And this is a mindset, this is a type of psychology, not a type of people or not an individual. This is a psychological construct, not a human construct. Okay? I just put it bug or established this term as bug because who the hell is going to listen to a podcast of more than an hour talking about welfare dependency is the psychological phenomenon? No one will hear that. No one will hear that. So I realized, maybe welfare bug sounds more cool, sounds more Generation C, sounds more attractive, at least for me. So that's why I established this term. Um, the second approach or the second warning that I want to establish before we move forward is that this podcast will utilize a reductionist approach to the phenomena or the problem that I will be describing. What means to use a reductionist approach? Well, basically that I am discarding a lot of variables that exists and that absolutely my friend. Absolutely, those other variables contribute to the problem, but I will not be focusing on those. Why not? Well, it is not pragmatical. If I'm gonna be focusing in all the variables that contribute to a welfare bug, well, this gonna be like a 10-hour podcast. So for example, I know that poverty as a systemic problem, as a societal problem, as a problem that is incentivized by macro structures like government, education, the church, culture, stuff like that. Well, poverty is very well um, incentivized and maintained by these structural institutions of society, but I will not get there. I will not go there. This is not going to be a political debate. This is not going to be a debate of conservatives versus liberals. No, 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 no. That is for another subject. Maybe in a future podcast, I will be talking about those structural systems that contribute to the problem of the welfare bug. But today, in this specific episode, I will concentrate on the psychological factor inside the mind of a person that suffers of a welfare bug, that have this type of welfare dependency mindset or psychology, and how psychologically we can overcome this bug or eradicate it out of our life. Now, I know that psychology is always mediated by social, political, cultural factors, but at the end of the day, also psychology can stand alone. That's why we are a discipline by our own, and that's why we have a construct that we work with that is called the psyche and psychology. And this construct, can stand alone, and the individual can make choices for their life, decisions for their life. The individual can hack their own psychology, and the individual can prosper in life independently of all the structures that surround a psychology or a psyche. Not independently, but with a high degree of independence. And this will vary country by country, culture by culture, individual to individual, personality to personality. I know all of that, but that's why I'm telling you, I'm going to be using a reductionist approach. And this is not bad. Using reductionist approach is the methodology of science. We need to reduce variables to be able to separate them and study them, manipulate them in experiments. The problem with reductionism is when you are doing it and you don't inform that you are doing it. That is the real problem of reductionism. And science, material positivistic science, they do this a lot. They are very reductionist, and they never tell you. And you believe that the conclusions of a research paper or the conclusions of an investigation is, the macro perspective, the the whole view of the universe, of that reality, and that is just a reduction of reality, but they never tell you in the research paper or in the documentary that you're seeing or whatever. So I'm telling you, I'm using a reductionist approach. All right, so now that you know, and now that I'm basically protected of all of these folks that are trying to, look for information, that influencers like me or others, that we are trying to help people, and what they do is they break our discourse, our narrative, and they use it as a weapon for us. So now I am more protected against those type of pseudo intellectual, pseudo social warriors people. So let's go. What are welfare programs? So this is where we begin. What is a welfare program? So a welfare program is basically a system, it's a social political system that is in society to help people to prosper financially, or at least to survive economically in their material conditions. And they are supposed to help people that are in a transition in life. Maybe they are a student, maybe they are uh, going through a sickness, maybe they are new in town, maybe they are immigrants, maybe they have an intellectual problem, maybe they suffer an accident. And these programs, these political programs, these public programs are in place to help these people with cash, with money, with economical resources, with food, with shelter, with a lot of things, with education sometimes. And um and with those systems, the society believe that we are reducing poverty and we are increasing, the well-being of our citizens. So these programs, these welfare programs, are very well known in the United States. We have the SNAP, I think it is called, uh, the food stamps, it was called back in the day, WIC for the babies. Um, we have student loans, and also other countries have these kind of cash transfer systems. In Puerto Rico, we have an epidemic of this type of welfare bug mindset, in which a lot of the population in Puerto Rico, where I'm from, you know, they depend of this type of systems to survive, and they perpetuate this dependency. Okay, that is the real problem. The problem is not to depend. We are going to have our transitions in our life. For example, I received federal loans in my whole doctoral program journey. For a whole 5 years I was receiving welfare, right? Kind of, I know that, well, it's not kind of a welfare because you need to pay it back. And welfare, sometimes you don't need to pay back, but at least it's a safety net kind of program. It's a program to help people. Now I know that federal loans are a business by itself, and it's a trap, and that is another subject. But what I'm just want to tell you is that I have received benefits before. So I'm not here telling you that I am this rich guy, millionaire guy, that I'm looking down for all of those that are receiving these benefits. No, 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 no. I came from a poor country. I received student loans, and now I am trying to decipher how can I help people to get out of this welfare bug mindset, because I know by experience and by my studies and by research that is problematic long term, and that can fog or can disrupt your personal development. And that's why we are talking about it here, because at the end of the day, will disrupt and break and hold your personal development back. And you don't want that. So other countries also have this type of programs. This is not something only in United States. So, and also, this welfare bug that I will be talking about is not only dependent in government programs. Also, you can have this type of bug, this type of mindset that needs this help, and that is dependent on others' help to self survive. This can happen in towns, countries, communities that maybe they don't have a government, or a government system of a safety net economically, but they rely on other people resources to really survive. Like, a lot of people can do this in poor countries. Like, they are, from house to house, from family to family, trying to suck all that they can without trying actively to develop a better way of being, a more economical, sustainable way of being, because they realize that it's easier to be and to enact a welfare bug mindset than to transform their internal resources into a way that they can become better at their economical potency. Okay. So this can happen with systems in government, but also this can happen in just social dynamics in poor countries that people may develop also this welfare bug mentality. So, what is the welfare bug? Well, it's a mindset, it's a psychology. In research, it is called welfare dependency. For those of you that may like this subject and want to do like more extensive research, just Google welfare dependency. And don't get me wrong, I endorse and I accept the fact that we need safety nets. We need safety processes for people that are struggling economically in society. And I know that are so many people need it, really, for real. Like people that have a chronic mental disorder may need it, or maybe like a neurodegenerative disorder like Alzheimer, and maybe that person is living all alone. That person may need it. People that are maybe handicapped, like blind or deaf, or I don't know, maybe they cannot walk, they may or not, but they may need it. Women that are pregnant and they are high risk and they cannot work, they may need it. Or people that are very old and the social security, if they have something like that, it's not working that much economically, they may need it. They may need a social welfare program. Immigrants that are just figuring out how to progress in a new country, also they may need it. People may need it. I don't have any problems with this type of benefits. The problem is the psychological dependency that a person can develop when they are exposed to this type of benefits long term. The problem is the learned helplessness. And I will explain a little bit that we can develop with these programs in which it is better, at least the person thinks, this is the welfare bug. This is the welfare bug. The person think that being in a welfare system, being receiving those benefits is better or more desirable than to become self-sufficient. And that, my friends, it is not necessarily a social dilemma, it's a very psychological dilemma. And that is the welfare bug. Because like a bug, once that bites you, it can poison you. That's why I establish it as a bug, because it's something that is flying around. Society is always telling you, hey, it doesn't matter if you are out of a job, you always can receive the benefits. And poof, they bite you. Oh my God, I need the benefits. And then you are stuck for life. And that can happen. It happens to so many people in Puerto Rico. It's crazy. It's crazy. In the United States, I don't see it that much because people here, they have like a moral obligation to not be a burden to society. But in Puerto Rico, sadly, that moral obligation, it is not there. So it's very easy to fall into social bugness, this type of mentality. So the welfare bug is the dependency, is the perpetuation of this state. People do not want to get out. It is easier for them to stay in the same place. And the bad thing is that they also tell a lot about, tell a lot of bad things about their state, but they do nothing to change it. That is the welfare bug. So let's discuss real quick some characteristics or traits of people that have this type of bug in their mind. So look to these traits, and maybe you are suffering one of them. Maybe you are receiving benefits, or maybe you know someone that are receiving this, and maybe you can say, oh man, that person is maybe developing that thing. So maybe this episode will not apply to you, but remember that this is something that you can fall in this trap later on in your life. So stay tuned. This is not only for people that receive the benefit, this is for everyone, because you may fall to this trap one day in your life and you will remember, the welfare bug is biting my neck. Let's see what I can do to improve my condition, to be proactive with patience, without judgment, but being proactively, systematically to improve my condition. So, what are the traits? Over dependency. This is the first trait, dude. These people sometimes, if other people do not help them, they do not help themselves. Not because they cannot help themselves. Maybe that is for the handicaps. Maybe that is for the schizophrenic that is really handicapped in that moment of their life. But this overdependency is on people that are perfectly capable of doing more with their life, of creating an entrepreneurship, of creating an art piece and selling that, of going around and looking for a job because they are perfectly fine, but they are over dependent. They know if I find a job, I will lose the benefits. So it's better for me to stay home all day, wasting my creative spirits, wasting my creative energies. And it's not like in a job you will, and manifest your creativity. You can do it also in home, but most of these people that have this welfare bug don't believe do not believe for a second that they are in their house creating stuff while they are receiving the benefits. Some of them may do it, and those are the ones that are pushing forward and eradicating this bug, and they are in the transition and they will soon become self-sufficient. But most people, they are not doing this. They are watching television, they are reading the magazines, they are scrolling in Instagram with the government paid fund. That is the over dependency without any justification beside it is easier to be like this. That is the real buggy problem, my friend. That is the first trait. The next trait is learn hopelessness. Learn hopelessness. And this is a term, it's a very popular term in positive psychology. It was theorized by Martin Seligman. He's a famous psychologist, a brilliant man. And he talked about welfare dependency in one of his books. I look for that reference like crazy, my friend. When I first started to develop this idea, I was working in the corrections in Colorado, and I was reading in the office of my supervisor. My supervisor, she had a book in the bookshelf, and it was a book that is called The Mindset of Optimism, something like that, and it's from Martin Seligman and positive psychology. So I started reading that book, and I remember that I read something about the welfare dependency mindset and the learned helplessness there. I looked for the book, I read it, I read some of the paragraphs trying to scan the reference. I Googled it. I could not find it. But maybe if you read the book, Optimism by Martin Seligman, you will find it. So this is something that is well discussed in sociology, politics, and psychology. This is not something that I am, this is not another crazy subject of Dr. Derek Israel. So learned helplessness is basically a state of mind in which you feel that you have no control over your circumstances, and that's it. And you can do nothing to change it. So think about the elephant that have a a leg tied by a small rope. And the elephant can break the rope if he wants because he's so strong. But he doesn't do it because in his mind, that little rope, it is strong enough to become his prison. That is the learned helplessness. We can do stuff. We have the potential to do it, but we decide to not to do it because we believe that we are not capable of. And this happened with, for example, people that are in a toxic relationship, sentimental relationship. They may become hopeless. Like, oh man, nothing that I do will help me to get out of this relationship. So I am destined to be here. Right? That is the type of mindset. And this can happen in education. I am destined to be uh, poor educated. I cannot do something to change it. I cannot open that book. I see the book, but I cannot open it. Right? So that is the learned hopelessness. Sadly, people that are with suffering of the welfare bug, they suffer of learned hopelessness because every time that a government is giving you a check, they are remembering, I cannot do it by myself. And it's a positive, it's not positive, but in a positive correlation context, it's a positive reinforcement for to them to continue and cultivating that welfare bug and lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Remember, this is not something that is only in your mind like a bug, but also is a bug that transfer to your lifestyle, to your habits, to your consumer habits, to your decisions, to the way that you propagate culture and your political decisions. Everything, it is tied to this bug. And maybe you say, oh yes, Derek, you're right, but are not supposed to be a psychologist, dude? Are not supposed to also say that people that are in these situations, they also suffer of depression, they suffer of anxiety, they suffer of trauma, and they suffer for some, psychological pathologies that reinforce their learned hopelessness. And that is also a factor. Yeah, that is also a factor. But I want just to mention that sometimes the collateral depression, anxiety, trauma, whatever the mental health issue is, it is a byproduct of the welfare bug. Sometimes it is the contrary. Sometimes it is the psychopathology, or what I call the singularity of mind. I will be doing an episode of that on the future, and I will be actually also publishing a book about this idea. But anyways, um, sometimes these mental health problems are a byproduct, a result of the welfare bug, not the cause or the root of the welfare dependency. So if you are maintained, sustained economically, spiritually, mentally, by the government or by people, other people, how the hell do you think you will feel? your self-efficacy will drop, and that is your sense of your that is your assessment of the capabilities, the self-assessment of your own capabilities to have success in life, that we call self-efficacy. That will be down as hell because you will feel that you are not efficient in anything. You don't have efficacy, right? Your self-esteem will drop as hell because at the end of the day, you are just a welfare bug. You have that mindset, right? So how do you will feel? So maybe consciously you will feel good, but unconsciously your mind know that you are not self-sufficient. And this is not sustainable, folks. Just think about it. Our reptilian brain, it is not used to this. Our reptilian brain is used to conquer, to walk in the jungle and to hunt and to produce, yes, in a collaborative manner, yes, in a collective strategy, yes, in a collective consciousness context, sorry, yes, also consciousness, but context. It is not used to be a welfare dependent kind of guy or woman. So your reptilian brain know that something is out of track when you are in this state. And the reason what I say, because the reason for what I say that is not sustainable long term is because, for example, let's suppose that a nuclear war hits and that you are one of the luckiest to survive. And maybe you are in a place that you can get out and the radiation will not bite you in the butt. In that hypothetical sense, welfare programs will be gone in the government because we are going to be in a society that is in the first stage of the society development, in the first stage of material conditions. We're going to be in survival mode. What you going to do then, my friend? If the world goes to hell, it may happen. It almost happened with COVID. It may happen with a World War III. It may happen with an alien invasion, with a zombie attack, with I don't know, with what else? It can happen with anything, right? If the world if the world goes to hell, what you will do if you are a welfare bug? If you have this mindset, what you will do? You will die. That's what you will do. Because you're not self-sufficient. You are not implementing habits, structures in your mind, structures of behavior, lifestyles that promotes being self-reliable, self-sufficient, being able to produce by yourself and be able to provide by yourself and others. And remember, this is only for those that have that capacity, but they are choosing actively not to do it. Not for those that really needs the help. Just remember that. Just remember that. So another characteristic of this type of people is systematic rejection of opportunities to grow. And we psychologists see this every day in our office. Our patients tell us, I'm good, but please don't put in the system that I don't have the symptoms anymore, because then I will lose my food stamps, or I will lose my social security, or I will lose this type of benefits that help me with these symptoms. Or sometimes they'll tell you, I want to work, but if I work, I lose the benefits. And this is the thing. In the United States, you are almost equal with a salary of $29,000 in lifestyle. You are almost equal in your lifestyle. If you're a woman or a man that earns $29,000 in comparison with a person that earns $60,000. Why is that possible? How is that possible? If you earn the half of another person, how the hell you can have almost the same lifestyle? Well, because for the person that earns $29,000 per year, that person can receive the benefits in the United States. And all the benefits, if you receive it all, like they can sum up and result in almost $50,000 or $60,000 per year. But the person that earns that, they will be removing taxes for that salary. The government will remove taxes and they will not give any benefit. So at the end of the day, that 60,000 salary is 50,000 salary, and it's the same as the other person that is earning 29,000 but is receiving the benefits. So basically the government is reinforcing you to earn less, to be less, to strive for less. And we may argue this is a political agenda, have some political rationale behind. I know it may. It may. And I know that we should be doing better policies to attack this societal problem. But as I said, I will not attack that here. It is out of our scope today, but I will do it in the future. In the future, I will be, and now I am in a transition in multiple ways in my life, not only in language, transitioning from Spanish to English, but also from psychology to politics and social issues. I will be transitioning to that. Not like every episode will be that, but I will incorporate better the social and political lengths of problems because, I am a psychologist by nature, and sometimes I over focus on the mind and I forget about other things. So I am striving and reading and researching more than ever those other social paradigms because I want to be, more effective in the future in addressing the perspectival, systematic reality of life, not only with one variable. So another of uh, the characteristic of this type of mindset is that these people persistently lie and manipulate to continue with the benefits. So they try to lie. Okay, so what is my income? Let's try to fake the income to receive the benefits. They try to lie, maybe saying that they are handicapped, and in reality, they are not. So when you are actively manipulating the system, or when you are actively manipulating others to receive benefits, you are endorsing and acting the welfare bug lifestyle. So I want you to be aware of this and to self-assess, self-evaluate if you do this type of stuff. Obviously, if you are following the challenge and if you are following the self-help personal development content, you already know why this is so problematic for your own growth. Hello! Extremely problematic. So, and the final characteristic that I will mention about this type of mindset is that these people generally lack motivation and self-resolve to change their condition. They can't change it, but bleh, it's easier to be home receiving the benefits. Bleh, it's easier to be home receiving the benefits than to really create that book that I am thinking about, or that piece of art, or that entrepreneurship, or that social media business, or that metaverse business. Motivation, folks. They lack that motivation. So now let's talk about the negative consequences of the welfare bug mindset. for society, not only for the individual, but for society. So for society, this creates a poor allocation of resources. So instead of a country being able to have a lot of resources, for example, for education, for innovation, for space exploration, for quantum exploration, for psychological engineering, for spiritual consciousness, sophistication of the collective consciousness, instead of having a lot of resources in areas that actually will make humanity transcend itself, it allocates a lot of that resources in welfare programs. And that is a societal problem because we should be investing with a good balance in this type of programs, with a good balance. And I don't think that we are balanced right now. And it's not only the fault of the government, it's also the fault of the individual. We like a lot to point our fingers to the government. And the government, sometimes they are stupidly stupid. They are. I am not saying they are perfect, but they don't have all the fault also. They are not the only billion. We have responsibility in our life. If you are living in a democratic country, in a free country, kind of free, right? At least that is the marketing. Well, hey, dude, you have decision-making power. Another societal problem around this welfare bug is the, this dependency example that we show to the new generations. The children that are raised in a house or in a home that receive this type of benefits, they will know that that is something that is always possible. That is a lifestyle, you can do that. If I fail in the university, I can rely on welfare. If I fail in my life purpose, I can rely on welfare. That is the bug. So if you are a leader of your family, the mother, the father, and you are receiving these benefits, cool down, but explain to your children why you are in this transition, or why you really need these benefits. What are the real obstacles for you to be able to get out of this lifestyle? Explain that very carefully to them, because you don't want them to copycat your life, your lifestyle. Because then this become, and it already is, but this will become more and more an intergenerational problem, not only a problem that we are living right now. It will be something long term. So do that, please. Serve as a better example for the young, for the youth. Also, in society, this promotes what I call the beneficial sickness. The beneficial sickness. So basically, this is finding a lot of benefits to be sick. Maybe you are not sick, but you want to say that you are sick. And this is the thing, folks. When we say that we are sick, we become sick. If you are saying for 20 years to the government, to the psychiatrist, to the psychologist, to the social worker, to the government office, to everyone that you have depression and that's why you cannot work, but you don't really have it. You're just doing it because you're manipulating. You are conducting yourself through the welfare bug mentality. But what you think will happen someday, suddenly, if you continue doing this, you will get depressed. because you are wording your reality. Your words becomes your reality. And if you are saying that to everyone because you have the benefits of becoming sick, of being sick, then your brain will adjust and you will be sick. Then it will not be a lie anymore. You will be right. You are sick and dependent instead of just being dependent and trying to overcome and to become self reliant. So watch out of the beneficial sickness. Also, society suffer of a huge opportunity cost due to the lack of creativity and inventiveness. Do you know how much potential people that are suffering of this welfare bug have in their life, and they don't actualize that potential due to this condition? So society is losing a lot of talents, my friend, a lot of good engineers, a lot of good psychologists, a lot of good medicine men or women or intersexual individual, uh, uh, good politicians, good astronauts, good lawyers, judges, policemen or women, because they have this welfare bug. And with this welfare bug, you don't stretch your personality enough. Most people, some they do it, but most people, they do not systematically grow in order to reach the next level and get out of that welfare mindset bug, that bug mindset. So that is really, really sad, because you are great, man. You have so much things to offer. You have the fruit. And I very soon will be doing an episode about um sharing your fruit with the world, what I call the fruit. So you have your own fruit, your own potential, your own talents, and those are going to the trash can, my friend, because due to this bug. So wake up, wake up. It's time to get better. It's time to move forward, and it's time to educate ourselves and society. So now let's go to the final part of this podcast and the most pragmatical, and is how to psychologically eradicate the welfare bug. And notice that psychologically is this emphasized. This is an emphasized word, because this is not how to make policies or how to socially eradicate. No, no, no. This is how to psychologically, individually, the for the person that is suffering this, what that person can do, what you can do if you are suffering this. So the first thing that I will recommend is that you need to transform your dependent state to a proactive state. This is the first thing that we should do. What is the first habit of the 7 habits of highly effective people? One of the best books out there in personal development. Become proactive. I always remember this prisoner, this offender, that he was in, you know, I will not say exactly what prison, but he was in a Colorado prison, and I was working there, and he was my patient. And this guy, man, everyone, like the staff, like officers, psychologists, headquarters, everyone that was running the prison, they were afraid of him. We were afraid a little bit, because this guy was very systematic in his approach, and he was always developing new systems to literally break the prison system. Not breaking it in a way of using force, but using his intelligence and his proactivity. Like writing to the government, writing uh, different recommendations for the prisons, and always doing a drama about the conditions of prisoners. And he was always doing and creating a chaos systematically in his community, right, in the prison. Anyways, he used to tell me, you know what, Derek, why I do this? And I asked him, why you do it? And he told me, because I am a proactive man. And I was like, okay. And he told me, that is the first habit in the 7 habits of highly effective people. And I received that training here in prison back in the day. And that is a very good uh, program that they have in the Colorado corrections. I don't know if that is something universal in all of the corrections in the United States, but at least in Colorado, they have that program based on the book. And he said, that is the first principle of the book. And since I took it, I am applying it. And these have worked miracles in my life. And I reinforced him and I said, good man, you are doing good. But back in my mind, I was thinking, oh man, this guy, he knows what he's doing and he's a pain in the ass for all of us. But at the same time, we need to reinforce his activity, his proactivity. He's not doing something illegal. He's not doing something out of the norm. He's conducting himself with the right channels, sometimes with the wrong causes, sometimes with out of the wall ideas. All right, that we know that. But with the right proactivity. He had this. And now, how easy is to develop the welfare bug in a prison? It's very easy, because in a prison, they give you the food, they give you the clothes, they give you everything. And sometimes you don't need to work to earn it. And even if you don't work, you will eat. It doesn't matter. But some prisoners, they decide to be proactively. They decide to work if that is an option. They decide to be better. They decide to educate themselves, and they decide to be proactive. This is the same thing that the individual here in society, maybe you that is receiving these benefits, that maybe you are cultivating this welfare bug, needs to do. You need to do this. You need to become proactive. Stop being a victim. Stop waiting for help to come for you, and start creating the help for you, creating the resources for you, manifesting this reality in your life. This is the personal development part. This is the proactivity part, the proactive effort that we are demanding in a more conscious society. The next step to eradicate, or strategy to eradicate this welfare bug, is to become more optimistic and less pessimistic. If you are very pessimistic, you will think, oh man, if I remove these benefits, I will not be able to survive. I will not be able to work because I am not good in anything. I have poor social relationships. I have poor self-manage or self-management skills. Blah blah blah. That is a pessimistic kind of view. You need to change that. You need to adopt a positive framework of mind, an optimistic way of being. Something like, you know what? I will struggle at first, but I will figure out how to get out of this state. Notice the change in energy just with that statement. It is a change of drive. It is a modification of motivation. So be more optimistic. Engineer your mind to be this way. And remember, the mind is always driven to a negative bias. So you are naturally pessimistic. You need to hack yourself to become a better self. You need to hack yourself to become optimistic. So hack yourself, my friend. How you do it? Well, this whole program, this whole mastermind podcast with 508 508 episodes is about it. It's about how you develop a more positivistic, optimistic, grow oriented mindset. So you will here have a lot of resources, but by any chance, just stay here. Go read books, go listen to other podcasts, go and work with mentors. You have Google and it's free. Google how to be more positive, optimistic, and stuff like that. And practice those skills. It's a practice. It's not only about learning, it's about incorporating the knowledge in your viscera, in your gut, in your body, my friend. It's about solidifying your intelligence in a material medium, in your body, in your flesh, in your lifestyle. Another strategy is to become financially literate or educated. It's going to be very easy for you to fall in the welfare bug trap if you know nothing about money. If you have never opened a book about accounting, saving, investing, stock market, forex, real estate, commodities as an investment, Bitcoin, crypto assets, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, options as in the stock market, or how do you call bonds, also is another option. If you have never ever educate yourself economically, it's gonna be very easy for you to fall in this trap and to live there forever. So what is the strategy to solve this? Become more educated financially. You need to open the books, folks. What I recommend, look, do this every day for now on. Every day for now on, every morning, let's say, I do it every morning. Go to Google Finance and I prefer this one, Yahoo Finance. And that is a website in which you will be able to read news only of financial subjects. You will learn about stocks, you will learn about divisas, you will learn about pricing, you will learn about politics and how that affect economies, you will learn about international relationships, you will learn about trading, market, you will learn about gold, silver, commodities, potatoes, you will learn about apples, you will learn about Bitcoin and Ethereum and Dogecoin and Polygon and OpenSea. You will learn about everything that you need to learn to be more educated financially. Now, is that enough? No, but that is something. I always recommend you open the books, go and read books. For example, Poor Dad, Rich Dad. That is a good book to start with. Or Accounting for Dummies. That is a good book to start with. So open the books, go to courses, buy courses whenever you have the means to do it. Just watch free YouTube videos about this education. Folks, these are for free. This podcast is free. Other podcasts are free. You can eradicate this bug if you really want. The reason, the problem is, do you really want this? Do you really want to break the cycle of dependency or not? That is the real issue. So by reading Google Finances and Yahoo Finances, you will become wise in long term. This is not something that will happen in a year. At least after 5 or 10 years of you reading every day this kind of news, you will connect some points and you will be a better economical being. And that is also an episode that I will be do in the future. I call it economical beings. The next strategy is create your own job. It sounds easy. It is not. I know. I have been creating my own job since, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago. And it's not easy. I struggle with it sometimes yet. But hey, it is a possibility. Well, if you are in a capitalist country, I don't know how well this can function in a socialist country, but if you are in a capitalist, and most countries, although they are socialist, if they are, like for example Cuba, or like China, like they try to be like socialist, communist, stuff like that, you know they are capitalistic also, like socialism as something pure. I don't know if that is a reality. It is not, definitely, but I don't know if it can be a reality. So, anyways, that is another subject. But if you are in a capitalistic society, for you is not easy but possible to create your own job, to sell something, to create your own art, to start recording a podcast and monetizing that podcast, for example. That is a kind of a idea. So create your own job, dude, and you can receive the benefits while you are creating your own job. And then when your entrepreneurial venture or your business start to roll, then you can eradicate this bug and continue as an entrepreneur. How good is that? That sounds good. Well, it sounds good. If you don't have the bug, it will sound good. If you have the bug, it will sound like, I don't know, direct. I don't know if I am capable. Remember the learned helplessness, the elephant that doesn't break the rope, although he can. The next strategy is to establish as self-sufficiency as a goal and develop a plan. This must be a goal for you. No one will establish this goal for you. I can inspire you to do it. The government can inspire you to do it. Your mother can inspire you to do it. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. If you don't put this as a goal, your brain will not develop a plan. And if you establish this as a goal, but do not develop a specific and definitive plan to do it, you are not going to get out. So what I recommend you, hey, look, go to YouTube and look Derek Israel, Think and Grow Rich mini series. This is a free mini series of 10 episodes. 10 episodes that are, each episode is a chapter of the most powerful personal development and economical mindset book of all time, that is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I did one episode per chapter in a dynamic way, in an entertained way, right? So go and watch that entire miniseries, because you will learn there how to stimulate a desire, establish it as a goal, create a plan, persist in that plan, brain hack yourself or brainwash yourself to manifest that result in your life, And all that you need to do to radically change your life, it is in that mini series, all for free. And obviously, I will recommend you to go to my life, to the Manifesting Your Life Purpose course, but that is not free. So I am supposing that if you are in these benefits, you don't have a lot of cash. Probably right now, maybe you have, maybe you don't. I don't know. But that one that I'm recommending to you, the Think and Grow Rich mini series, is all free. You don't have excuses. What you will have a lack of motivation to do it, probably. And that is part of the welfare bug. So there you have an option. And the final strategy that I will share with you to end this podcast today is to execute the plan with patience until you are bug free. Yes, you need patience, you need to be persistent, and you need to be resilient and anti fragile. What is anti fragile? Google that. Is amazing. And I will be doing an episode in the future, but those are systems or structures that not only are resilient, but that benefit themselves from chaos. Anti fragile. You should study those things, they are amazing. Anyways, my friend, be persistent because you will need it eradicating this bug out of your life. Folks, I hope that this podcast was enlightening for you. It was very fun for me to do it, to work with it, to research it. And remember that I will be doing more episodes like this in the future. If you are enjoying this Mastermind podcast, join our group in Telegram and also support us in Patreon. You know what is Patreon? Basically, Patreon is a platform in which you can support your favorite artist as myself. That we that are doing mostly free content as myself, you can with only $5 per month. What? Yes, just $5 per month, you can support us. And with that, you help us to be sustainable and to continue doing this work for you for free forever in the most entertainment way or entertain way possible. All right. Also, leave a comment. I want a comment. Download. Uh, you know, I want a comment down below, of your thoughts about it, because I know that I may be biased, and I am biased. Everyone is biased, dude. I have a subjective reality. I have my own cultural paradigms. I have my own political agenda. I have my own psychology. I have my own life experience, and all of these contaminate the quality and the objectiveness of what I am trying to express. That is not a fault. That is just a design, a default. It is not a fault. It is a default. Oh, I like that. It is not a fault, baby. It is a default, baby. Maybe I can do a rap song with that. So, make a comment. Leave a comment of your thoughts about the welfare bug. What do you think we can do with it? What do you think are other factors that may contribute to it? What do you think are other factors that I didn't mention to free ourselves of it? What I did wrong, what I did good, how can I improve? I don't know, but leave a comment. Make your mark. Don't be a victim in these YouTube videos. Be proactive in these YouTube videos. Remember, YouTube videos or Spotify, podcast, whatever, are made to stimulate conversations. So if you're on YouTube or in a place that you can actually make a comment, make a comment. Share this with your friends. Share this in your social media. Share this in the groups, and share this with a individual that you think that he may be developing the welfare bug. This may be a life saver for that person, and you are just one button away to do this change for him. And finally, hey, dude, let me just invite you to my Manifesting Your Life Purpose course. In this course, you will learn the most fundamental aspect of eradicating the welfare bug, and that is connecting with your deepest why why you are here, what you are here to do, what is your destiny, what is your path in life. And by connecting with that, believe me, my friend, that you will penetrate the workforce, you will penetrate the market with profitable solutions, with a commercialized path in your life, with a commercialized passion. That is what I'm doing right now. I am commercializing my life purpose with this podcast and with other things that I do in social media, website, internet, and so forth. So you can do this, and I can teach you step by step to free yourself and to be really yourself through your life purpose. Go to the description below, go to derekisrael.com/courses, and I see you in your life purpose. And watch out, I am seeing another one. Another one. It is here. Yeah. I kill another welfare